Hello everybody. Thank you so much for coming out today. I am, as Owen said, Jonathan Reynolds. I'm a Labour MP. I've been a lifelong supporter of a move to fair votes, and I have a very simple, straightforward take on this, and it's this: that how people vote in general elections should be reflected in the composition of the House of Commons, that we should admit we're a country with a diversity of views, that we should seek to have a parliament that represents all of those views, that respects those views, that recognises there are different opinions in this country. Now, I don't think that's actually that radical, but actually for some people it's the most radical thing in the world. But the more you talk to people about it, the more you explain about what a system like ours does at the minute compared to systems that operate very successfully in other countries, the more I think they start to realise that something is wrong in how we elect the House of Commons as it is at the minute. And by the way, it's also wrong in your local councils and almost not everywhere in the UK, but certainly in most of England. It's simply not a way a modern country should conduct its democracy. And in the recent election, you know, the composition of Parliament has changed in a way that people probably thought wasn't going to be the case at the beginning of the election, but there will still be debates, and I'll be in them as a Labour MP with people on my side, or responding to a debate for Labour when there'll be a group of Conservative MPs in. And if it's a regional debate or a debate affecting one particular county, there might be 90 or 95% of the MPs from that county from one political party, and they'll say, wow, it's a really strong area, it's a stronghold for one political party, this. And you look up the figures, and actually you find that in that county more people voted against the party with 90% of the MPs in that area than did for them. And that, friends, it simply can't be right. And I think the evidence is on our side when we make the case that they can be different and that there is a better way to do things. Now, in the election, it was certainly the case in some constituencies. We saw a move in some places to squeeze all the other votes into votes for just two political parties. In my seat, every party except Labour or the Tories actually lost their deposit. And now some people will come back to us, friends, and they'll say, look, it means actually everything's all right. Now, it doesn't mean that at all. What it means is that people, and they're very shrewd at this, because they understand it's unfair. They understand they have to decide to vote tactically, to decide, frankly, who they don't want as their MP. Now, that's not a good way, again, to elect your MP. You should vote for who you want. Yes, you should get a chance to transfer that vote and make sure you're not getting who you really don't want. But it's not a system, I think, that better reflects things. And we can't simply say every other developed democracy in the world has 5 or 6 main political parties, but here in England, it's very particular, there's actually only 2. That is not the case. And I want to leave you with something which I hope will give you a big sense of optimism for the future, because it certainly does give me something. Of the new intake of Labour MPs, the people who, frankly, a lot of people weren't expecting to see elected, but who've won seats, gained them from other parties, and would like to have them. Nearly half of those people, friends, are already committed supporters of a move to proportional representation. So the bell is going on me, but the bell is not going on this campaign. We're building it. We're winning in Labour, we're winning, I think, in the coalition we're building. So thank you to Make Votes Matter, this fantastic organisation. Let's keep fighting for this, but let's make sure we win. Thank you very much.